Hi LEGO fans! It's that time of year again and LEGO has just released the 10th Winter Village themed set. This range started out in 2009 with the Winter Village toy shop. Since then we've had a Winter Village bakery, a Winter Village post office, a Winter Village cottage, Winter Village market, Santa's workshop, a winter toy shop, winter holiday train, Winter Village station, and today I'm going to be unboxing, speed building, and reviewing set number 10263, the Winter Village Fire Station from LEGO Creator Expert. This is the first Winter Village set I've ever bought, so why change the habit of a lifetime? It's very simple. I'm a sucker for LEGO babies and I could not resist this little guy in his moose sweater. The 1,166 piece part count includes 6 minifigures. We've got not 1, not 2, but 3 firefighters. There's also an ice hockey player, a musician with a saxophone, and a girl wearing a scarf. We also get the adorable moose sweater wearing baby, a Dalmatian dog, and a buildable snowman. The set is themed around an old-fashioned fire station which is decorated for the holiday season, or Christmas as we say across the pond. Flipping over to the back of the box we get much more insight on what's inside the set. The back of the fire station is open so you can see all the features inside. We have garage space for a classic fire engine, all the tools and accessories a firefighter could ever need, and on the upper floor we've got somewhere cozy for the firefighters to relax. But never fear, there's always the fireman's pole for when the firefighters need to spring into action. The set includes a LEGO light brick which illuminates the bell tower. And yes, batteries are included. There are lots of role-playing opportunities and you can share a freshly cooked hot dog with the Dalmatian dog. We have a selection of gifts under the Christmas tree for baby's first Christmas. And what could be more fun in the snow than building a snowman? There's a musician complete with saxophone to spread some holiday cheer. And the firefighters have a fold-out bunk for that all-important night shift. As you'd expect, the classic fire engine has a working ladder. And the village fountain has frozen over, giving just enough playing space for a game of ice hockey. There's even a teeny tiny cart for delivering presents. Having waited almost a decade to get my first Winter Village set, I'm actually really excited about this. In fact, it's making me feel quite festive. So before I run off to grab a mince pie and a glass of sherry, let's get this box open and see what we've got inside. Here's everything that came inside the box. We've got 10 bags of LEGO numbered for stages 1 through 3, 2 instruction booklets of wildly differing proportions, and a blessedly small sticker sheet. I'm going to go ahead and build the Winter Village Fire Station, and today this is going to be a 90-second speed build. And here's the completed Winter Village Fire Station. I've got to say this is a really nice winter themed LEGO set. It wasn't crazy difficult to put together, but I can see why they gave it the 12+ rating. If you're not paying attention and counting out the bricks, it's easy to make a mistake. I had a couple of snafus along the way, but thankfully spotted them early enough to correct them. Build time was slightly longer than anticipated, and this took me about 2 hours 15 minutes to put together. The smaller instruction booklet covers the bags numbered 1 and makes up some of the ancillary items like the frozen pond, the Christmas tree, the the park bench and street lamp, and the little sled on which the baby sits. It also includes the classic fire engine, which is a great looking vehicle. Bags 2 and 3 build the fire station itself, and it's actually quite a large building. The fire station measures over 9 inches high, 9 inches wide, and 5 inches deep. So when you display the set all together, it actually takes up quite a bit of display space. We're going to start out by taking a look at the smaller builds first, then we're going to move on to the fire station, and along the way we're going to take a look at those minifigures. This is the village fountain, which has frozen over and provided a handy little ice rink to play hockey on. The icy surface of the fountain is constructed from transparent light blue tiles laid over white studs. I really like the light blue finish here, which gives the sense that the fountain is actually quite shallow. In keeping with the fire station theming of the set, the statue at the back of the fountain is actually wearing a gold metallic firefighter's helmet. I did notice that we get 3 firefighters in the set and only 3 firefighter helmets. So it looks like one of our firefighters has been up to a bit of mischief and put their helmet on top of the statue. I guess the statue would usually be the source of the fountain of water, but in this case the fountain jet has frozen and it gives a really nice finish. I really like the gold vine elements that have been used to add decoration to the fountain. Without these it would look a little flat, but with them it looks amazing. I just question how much success our budding hockey player is going to have on such a small rink. One of the most recognisable symbols of Christmas is the Christmas tree, and we've got a great example of a LEGO built Christmas tree in this set. I'm a really big fan of the transparent yellow star element at the top of the tree, and the 3D layered build technique that's used to create the Christmas tree branches, which are then decorated in red and yellow studs. We also have a couple of gifts under the tree which have attracted the attention of Baby. These items are a little bit smaller, so let's take a closer look by hand. Here's a little blue cart, and I've got to admit this is probably the least exciting thing in this set. It's not even built very well, it comes apart here, so not very good at all. It's made up of 6 LEGO elements. We've got the 2x3 plate, a steering wheel, and then 2 sets of wheels. These are the kind of skateboard wheels. As you can see here, this one is slightly bent, which is not great, so not very exciting there, LEGO. Let's move on. This is very much more exciting, and not least because we've got the baby with the moose sweater on board. We have golden runners here, which are really neat. Those look like weapons taken from Ninjago. They do quite an effective job. And then we've just got this little sleigh on which our baby is sitting. There's a little gift around the back here, which is 3 1x1 studs all put together. And then, of course, we have the star of the show. This is my reason for getting the whole set, and it's the cutest little baby ever with that little print on there with the moose. Or is it a reindeer? No, it's definitely a moose, but that was a point of argument in the Herbert household. He is adorable and definitely a good reason for me for getting this set. Here's the orange scarf wearing little girl who's looking after the baby, and we're definitely recycling some minifigure parts here. If you have a look at that shirt, we've definitely seen that before, and this is actually from my favourite video that I've ever done. This is from the Pickup and Caravan set, which I really enjoyed doing. As you can see, she's wearing the same shirt there. This guy looks like the brawny guy. And looking at the scarf there, that's a really nice piece. Sits between the head and the body, and I'm pretty sure last time I saw one of those it was being worn by Jay Walker in the Ninjago City set. She's got these short plain grey pants on there, and then a really cute expression there with the spectacles and the freckles. No alternate expression at the back there, and just a really nice hairpiece. Altogether, she looks great. Included in the set, we've got a really nice bench and lamppost combination. There's room on here to seat 2 minifigures, and we've got a rather distinguished firefighter and his musician friend catching up in the cold winter's air. So here's the first of our 3 firefighters, and you'll notice with all 3 of these guys that the legs and the torso are identical, so the only differentiating features we've got here are the heads. And we've got a great facial expression here. I really love that kind of mutton chop beard and moustache. That looks very distinguished, and then that blends into the grey hair. We only have the one expression, which I think carries for all of the minifigures in this set, but he looks great. Really nice printing there on the torso piece. You can see the belt. Shame we don't have any metallics for the buckle, but we do have metallics for the shiny buttons on the front. And then there's a little bit more detailing on the back there, again with the shiny buttons, which looks really nice. Each one of these guys does have a shiny gold helmet, and these are great elements. In fact, what I've done here, because each one of these comes with hair and the helmet, I've used a little transparent piece inside the helmet so that each one of the minifigures can hold the helmet. And the reason for doing that is so that I don't lose them and I can keep everything together. But these are really nice firefighter minifigures, and we'll get to the other 2 very shortly. It's slightly unusual to have a single musician in a holiday themed set. Usually I'd expect to see a number of these forming a band, you know, much like the Salvation Army players you would see playing outside at Christmas. But it is really nice to get this guy. He has a gold saxophone there and a really nice musician's outfit. He's got these plain black pants on there, no printing, but then a printed uniform on the torso and these really cool epaulets there. Those are a loose piece that sit between the head and the body. Tiny amount of printing on the back there for the creases, and obviously no facial expression on the back of the head. What we do get is a very serious but very impressive moustached face there and a cap. So that is our saxophonist and our musician in the set. The bench itself is a very simple build with a row of studs along the back for minifigures to sit down. There's also an adjustable back so you can get the seating position just right. The post on which the lamps are mounted is a standard piece that you see in many LEGO Creator Expert sets. You'll usually see one or two of these outside of a modular building. The top of the lamppost has been decorated with red studs, but it would have been nice to have seen some leaf elements on there to match the decoration on the fire station. I was about to use some spare leaf pieces to demonstrate, but then I realised that I hadn't finished the fire station properly. This is what happens when you don't pay close enough attention during the build, but thankfully it's easily fixed. Next we've got a really cute classic fire truck complete with ladder and turntable. It's a relatively small build, but it does make it possible to drive the fire truck into the fire station. The ladder is on a hinge so you can move it up and down. There's also a ratcheted turntable, and the ladder can slide forwards and backwards, although the mechanism is a little bit stiff. The ladder could really use an extension piece or two so you can reach those higher floors, but as a decorative build it's quite a nice thing. Even from the front of the build, this looks every bit the classic fire engine. We've got the old-fashioned grills and the old-fashioned yellow lamps. The designers have used reversible wheel rims, and I definitely think this was the right choice for a classic vehicle. We do have a little bit of sticker detail for the water pressure meters, and the ladder 4 nameplates at the rear and on the hood of the engine. There's also a stickered registration plate on the back of the fire engine, and this matches the set number 10263. If you ever buy second-hand LEGO, sometimes these elements can be really useful in helping you determine what you buy. The fire truck interior is pretty sparse and you could probably get 2 minifigures in there at a push, but it's going to be more comfortable with one. I like the addition of the toolbox, which is a really nice touch and a great element to have. The only aspect of the build that I don't really like are the hoses that just kind of flop around on the outside. There's nowhere to connect these two, and there's no obvious water tank inside the fire engine. Here's the firefighter that's missing a helmet, and as I mentioned before, the actual uniform here, both the legs and the torso, are consistent across all 3 firefighters. So the only thing different here is this guy's face, and he has a very unusual expression. In fact, I don't think I could trust this guy. He's got kind of a smarmy grin there. Yeah, it looks very untrustworthy. He does, however, have quite a nicely coiffured haircut. There is no alternate expression, otherwise I would definitely use it because I just don't like this face for some reason. But that is Firefighter number 2. Here's the final minifigure from the set. This is Firefighter number 3, or as I'd like to call her, she's going to be the Fire Chief. Now, the outfit she's wearing is exactly the same as the other 2 firefighters, although to be fair, usually with women's uniforms they button up a different way, but this is identical. I've had a good look, and there are no additional contours there for the differences between a man and a woman's body. We do have a very cute smile there, really like that with the teeth showing. I don't think we've got another expression. No, we don't, but we've got a very nice haircut here. I like the way this kind of bobs out at the sides, and it's a great colour. I'm a sucker for a red head. She also has one of these gold helmets, and I think she's a great minifigure. Finally, we get to the fire station, which is a really nice and detailed build on 2 levels. It also has an open back so we can explore all the features inside, but we're going to come back to that in just a moment. At ground level, we've got an impressive pair of large red doors. These open inwards and have a ramp to allow the fire engine to drive inside the station. Some really nice decorative features here with these decorative columns on either side of the door. And in keeping with the winter theming, we've got a light dusting of snow all over the building, and you're going to notice the occasional icicle hanging down from the roofline. There's a little red fire hydrant on the left hand side, and a snow-covered set of stairs which lead to the upper level living quarters. The decoration on the outside of the fire station shows a really nice level of attention to detail. In particular, I really like the Victorian style lamps and the red and green festive wreaths. At the other side of the building, we've got this charming little snowman with a top hat. Behind the snowman we've got this red, white and blue box. I'm guessing this is some kind of warning system to alert people when the doors are going to open and the fire engine's going to drive away. Even on the upper level we've got some really sharp architectural detail. There are more decorative columns on these double height windows. And I love the detail around the roofline, which uses 58 modified 1x1 studs with clips on. It took a while to apply all of those to the set, but I think the end result is really cool. There's a double height tower set back on the side of the building which houses the fireperson's pole. These panels are actually mounted sideways on an angle, and then we've got these 7 1x1 bricks to fill in the gap. The roof itself is pretty flat, but we do have a bell tower. The bell itself isn't very big, but it does do a good job of distracting your attention from the light brick that's installed behind. I've got to be honest, I'm not a big fan of these light bricks. They are super weedy, and I don't know why LEGO doesn't upgrade to LED technology. Even when viewed from the back of the set, it does a pretty poor job of illuminating the interior. As a display piece, the fire station is a really nice thing. Clearly this is aimed more at adult collectors, but we do have some really nice interior space. Let's take a look around. Starting at the bottom, we've got some garage space to store the fire engine and the firefighters' equipment. We've got a printed clock face showing standard LEGO time, a crate full of tools including a pickaxe and a hatchet. And look back there, there's another fireman's helmet. So maybe the gold helmet on the fountain statue is actually meant to be there. Over on the left hand side of the building there's a fire pole which allows firefighters to get from the upstairs part of the building down to the garage as quickly as possible. This is more decorative than functional, but you can kind of snap the minifigures onto the pole. It's definitely not the most pleasing result, and the fire pole is quite flexible, which makes it really difficult to get it inside the minifigure's hands. As you'd expect, there's an opening at both the top and the bottom of the tower to access the pole. The upper level is where the firefighters hang out between calls, and there are a number of amenities here to keep them comfortable. I should also note that the roof is removable, which makes it a lot easier to film. It's quite a compact area, but we've got most things a firefighter could need. There's a kitchen area complete with range, stovetop, sink, storage area, and the all-important coffee maker. We've got what looks suspiciously like a bat phone, and this looks like the alarm system for letting the firefighters know when they've got a call to attend. Firefighting is hungry and thirsty work, but thankfully there's a place for the guys to relax and enjoy a hot cup of coffee or a hot dog. Speaking of hot dogs, the firefighters have their own Dalmatian mascot, and he has his own cozy bed in the corner complete with bone. The wall above the dog's bed is decorated with art including this calendar, and it looks like our Dalmatian is a show winner. This folds down to become a bunk for the firefighters to get 40 winks. It's not the most practical place to put a bunk, and there doesn't appear to be a ladder to get up to it, but at least it's better than nothing. So that was set number 10263, the Winter Village Fire Station from LEGO Creator Expert. This is the first ever Winter Village set I've ever bought or reviewed, and I've been really impressed. One of the things that I usually like about LEGO Creator Expert sets is that they are usually very good value for money. This set retails for about $100, which for a 1,166 piece set doesn't sound that bad. We're certainly getting a lot of stuff here for $100. But compare this to one of the modular buildings, for example the Parisian restaurant, which is still on sale. That has more than twice the amount of parts at 2,469 pieces, yet the price tag is $159. So for another $59 you are getting more than double the amount of LEGO. That makes the value of this set look a little bit suspect. But ultimately it's all about how much you like the set. Just like the modular buildings, there are a bunch of fans collecting these Winter Village sets. So LEGO kind of knows that people are going to go out and buy this no matter what the cost. It's possible LEGO could have retailed this at $80, but they know people are still going to go out and buy it at $100. That's pure economics, and I can't blame LEGO for taking that strategy. As my first purchase from the Winter Village collection, I'm actually pretty pleased with this. I'm not going to go back and buy all of the other ones because I simply don't have the space to store them, but I'm sure I can find some space for this set, and there will always be a place in my collection for the moose sweater wearing baby. He's adorable! So whether this is your first or your 10th Winter Village set, to me this is a good one and I don't think you'll be disappointed. Whatever you think to the Winter Village Fire Station, I do hope you enjoyed this LEGO Creator Expert unboxing, speed build and review video. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like down below, drop a comment, and don't forget to subscribe for more awesome LEGO content. Thanks a million for checking out today's review, stay safe, and we'll see you on the next build video.